Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scout Sports 101 Browns season preview show and NFL preview show as well. We're going to talk about who the Browns have waived, who they've cut, and we're going to talk about is on injury reserve protocol and whatnot. And we're going to talk about the 53-man roster, and we're going to talk about Jim Donovan, the voice of the Browns, stepping down after 25 years. We'll get to all that, but first, here's today's Scott Sports 101 NFL trivia question. What is the highest score ever both teams combined in an NFL game? I will have the answer later on the podcast. Well, the Browns have officially announced their 53-man roster heading into the 2024 season. The 53-man roster showcases strong continuity on defense and special teams from the 2023 season. And number of pass catching threats for the offense, along with depth at quarterback. Defensively, the Browns returned key pieces of their front seven and their secondary. 21 of the 26 total defensive players are returning from last year's roster, which featured one of the top defenses in the league for the 2023 season. Categories including the total defense, passing defense, third down percentage, and first down allowed. Offensively, the Browns are rostering four quarterbacks, keeping Tyler. Actually, no. They traded Tyler. They released Todd Huntley is now with the with a hopefully I think with a different team, and they released him and Dorian Thompson Robinson and Jameis Winston besides Watson, and as valuable options behind quarterback Deshaun Watson. They also boast a deep receiving corps with 6 wide receivers, including Jamar Thrash, who excelled during the preseason, as well as 2 pass catching threats and tight ends David Njoku and Jordan Atkins. Special teams kept their consistency from the 2023 with extensions of Dustin Hopkins and re-signing of P. Corey Borquez in the offseason. Hopkins converted 33 of 36 field goals in 2023, including 4 game winning field goals. Borquez set the single season's Browns record for point average in 2023 with 49.4 yards, breaking his own record that he had set the year before in 2022. Now, and the Browns can make additional roster moves in coming days via waiver claims and free agent signings. They'll also look to construct all 13-man practice squad, 13-man practice squad. Excuse me, a group of players that play a vital role throughout the season and serve as an additional layer of depth in the event of injuries on the active roster. Now we're going to look at the Browns' 53-man roster by position. First, we have quarterbacks, 4 of them. Well, as you know, we don't have Tyler Huntley anymore because he was released, but we have 3 of them. Deshaun Watson, Dorian Thompson Robinson, and Jameis Winston. Running backs, we've got 2 of those, Jerome Ford and Pierre Strong Jr. Wide receiver, David Bell, Receivers, 6 of them: David Bell, Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore, Jamari Thrash, and Cedric Tillman. Tight ends, Jordan Atkins and David Njoku. Offensive linemen, and there's 10 of those: Joel Bitonio, Jack Conklin, Javion Cohn, Nick Harris, James Hudson III, Dewan Jones, Ethan Pollock, Wyatt Teller, Jedrick Willis Jr., and Zach Zinter. Defensive linemen, we have 9 of those: Myles Garrett, Shelby Harris, Maurice Hurst, the second, Quentin Jefferson, Isaiah McGuire, uh, uh, Ogbo uh, Oronko, Zadarius Smith, Delvin Tomlinson, and Alex Wright. Linebackers, 6 of them: Devin Bush, Mohammed Debate, Tony Fields II, Jordan Hicks, Jeremiah Orzwo Cormoa, and Nathaniel Watson. Defensive backs, we have 11 of those: DeAnthony Bell, Grant Dopit, Martin Emerson Jr., Khalif Halassi, Miles Harden, Ronnie Hickman, Rodney McLeod, Cameron Mitchell, Greg Newsome II, Joanne Thornhill, Denzel Ward, and Denzel Ward. Specialist Corey Bajores, Dustin Hopkins, and Charlie Hewlett. Now, the Cleveland Browns have made the following roster moves. They've waived 11. Defensive tackle Javon Briggs, wide receiver Armani Brown, wide receiver Jalen Darden, safety Christopher Edmonds, defensive tackle Sayaki Aka, defensive tackle Sam Kamara, tight end Zaire Mitchell Payton, linebacker Winston Reed, tackle Lorenzo Thompson, tight end Trayton Welch, wide receiver Michael Woods. Now there's some contracts that were terminated, 5 of them: cornerback Tony Brown II, running back Deontay Foreman, quarterback Justin Hardy Sr., tight end German Fetty, and wide receiver James Proch II. Now, players on injured reserve, we have 1 of those for football illness, on reserve for non-football illness: guard Michael Dunn, designated for a return. Placed on reserve for non-football injury is 1, running back Naheem Hines. Placed on reserve / PUP, there's 1. That's running back Nick Chubb. We may get it back week 5, although we may get it back later in the season. Placed on reserve, injured reserve, that's 1, Luke Whippler. Placed on exempt commissioner permission, that's 1. We know who that is: defensive tackle Michael Hall Jr. Waived from injured reserve, 1, it was safety Brady Breeze. And now, and that wraps up with the waived and who was on all that, and who was on reserve and commission and all that. And now it's going to be a Browns season preview. The 2024 season is pivotal for the Cleveland Browns as the team looks to solidify its status as a true contender in the AFC after several seasons of rebuilding and inconsistent performances. The Browns are at a crossroads where expectations are high, with a talented roster led by quarterback Deshaun Watson and defensive end star Myles Garrett. This team is poised for a deep playoff run. However, the pressure is on to deliver, especially given the tough schedule and the competitive nature of the AFC North. Success this season could redefine the franchise's uh, trajectory, cementing the Browns as a consistent force in the league and potentially paving the way for their first Super Bowl appearance. And that's number one. That's the only thing missing from this team. The Browns kick off the year against the Dallas Cowboys, a formidable opponent known for their dynamic offensive, led by quarterback Dak Prescott and wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. This game will set the stage for the Browns as they aim to establish themselves as contenders early in the season. So, and here's what we got predictions for this. This is from Cleveland Sports Talk. The prediction 27-24 Browns win, start out 1-0. I'll get some more of those in just a sec. Right now, it is time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 NFL trivia question. What is the highest score ever, both teams combined, in an NFL game? If you said 113, the Washington Redskins, and who are now the Washington Commanders, and 72-41, the New York Giants, you are correct. That's the highest score ever for both teams in an NFL game. I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, which will be for Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. Now, getting back to the predictions, in week 2, the Browns head south to face the Jacksonville Jaguars, a young team on the rise, uh, led by quarterback Trevor Lawrence, are building a strong roster and are expected to be a playoff contenders, making this an early season litmus test for Cleveland. And here's the prediction: 17-10 Browns win. They go to 2-0. Now, that's the game that I will be at. I will be at the Murphy House week 2 on September 15th at the Murphy House, the home of my really good friends, Matt and Katie Murphy. And my special guest will be none other than my really good friend, Matt Murphy, will join me for that podcast. So I look forward to that. And my season premiere to begin my 9th season of Scott Sports 101. Week 3 brings the New York Giants to Cleveland. The Giants are rebuilding under head coach Brian Daboll and have shown flashes of potential on defense. The Browns will need to take advantage of this matchup to build momentum. Here's the prediction: 24-10 Browns win. Myles Garrett 4 sacks, and the Browns go to 3-0. And traveling to Las Vegas in week 4, the Browns will face the Las Vegas Raiders, a team known for its vital yet explosive offense, led by a newly acquired quarterback, Gardner Minshew II, who last year threw for 300 yards against the Browns. Prediction: 16-10 Browns win. They go to 4-0. The Browns continue their road trip in week 5 against the Washington Commanders, a team in transition, but with a stout defense. This matchup could be a defensive battle, testing Cleveland's offensive line and quarterback Deshaun Watson's decision making. Excuse me. At the same time, the defensive line looks to give Jaden Daniels a long way at the office. And prediction: 24-7 Browns win. They go to 5-0. Week 6. Week 6 brings a tough away game against the Philadelphia Eagles the reigning NFC champions. The Eagles' powerful offensive and potent passing attack will be the biggest challenge for the Browns defense. The Browns defense has faced so far. The prediction is 21 to 14. Eagles win. Browns suffer their first loss and go to 5-1. In Week 7, the Browns return home for a crucial and first AFC North clash of the season against the Cincinnati Bengals, led by quarterback Joe Burrow. The Bengals are perennial contenders, making this a must-win for Cleveland in their divisional race. Prediction 28-21, Browns win. They go to 6-1. Week 8 sees the Browns facing off against the Baltimore Ravens, another divisional rival. The Ravens with Lamar Jackson at the helm and newly acquired Derrick Henry in the backfield pose a unique challenge with their dual threat offense. Prediction 24-13, Ravens win. The Browns fall to 6-2. In Week 9, the Cleveland Browns have a tough test against the Los Angeles Chargers, led by quarterback Justin Herbert, and their high-powered offense. The Browns' defense, anchored by Myles Garrett, will need to pressure Herbert, while Cleveland's offense relies on Nick Chubb to control the game's tempo. This matchup is crucial for the Browns, offering a chance to solidify their playoff aspirations against a strong AFC opponent. The prediction 31-14, Browns win. They go to 7-2. After a much needed bye week, Week 10 bye, the Browns travel to New Orleans in Week 11 to face the Saints. The Saints are a team in transition, but having a strong defense, which could create a low-scoring affair. Prediction 35-14, Browns win. They go to 8-2. The Browns host the Pittsburgh Steelers in Week 12, reigniting one of the NFL's oldest rivalries. The Steelers are known for their tough physical play, and this game is expected to be a hard-fought battle. Prediction 10-3, Browns win. They go to 9-2. In Week 13, the Browns face the Denver Broncos on the road, led by rookie quarterback, by a rookie quarterback looking to bounce back from a disappointing 2023 season, making them a dangerous opponent. Prediction 24-13, Browns win. They go to 10-2. Week 14 brings a rematch against the Steelers, this time in Pittsburgh at Heinz Field. The Browns will need to bring their best to get the season sweep of the Steelers. Prediction 21-14, Browns win. They go to 11-2. In Week 15, the Browns host the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending Super Bowl champions. This game will be a major test of the Browns' playoff aspirations, as the Chiefs, led by Patrick Mahomes, as one of the NFL's premier teams. Can the Browns stand toe-to-toe with the NFL's juggernaut? Prediction 28-17, Chiefs win. Browns fall to 11-3. Week 16 features another AFC North clash. This time it's on the road against the Cincinnati Bengals late in the season. This game could have significant playoff implications for both teams. Prediction 24-21, Bengals win. Browns fall to 11-4. The Browns' final home game comes in Week 17 against the Miami Dolphins on Sunday Night Football. The Dolphins, with their high-powered offense, will test Cleveland's secondary in prime time. Prediction 21-17 Dolphins win, Browns fall to 11-5. Now the regular season concludes with the Week 18 matchup in Baltimore against the Ravens. This game could very well determine playoff seeding, making it a fitting end to what is sure to be a thrilling season. Prediction 14-10 Browns win. They go to 12-5. Now, I think we will win a majority of their games. Cleveland Sports Talk says 12-5, but I'm going to say 11-6, like we did last year. And so does my co-maker down at Magnolia Clubhouse, KIL Keith in Lakewood. He also says that. And our other co-anchor, Mohammed Rashid, he says 12-5. We will see. And now here's some season predictions. Deshaun Watson makes his first Pro Bowl since 2020. Myles Garrett wins back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year. Nick Chubb returns Week 4. That may or may not happen. The 2024 season is set to be one of the most crucial in recent memory for the Cleveland Browns, with a challenging schedule that includes several high-profile matchups and divisional showdowns. The Browns will need to prove that they can compete with the NFL's elite as they navigate through the season. Each game will carry a significant weight in determining their playoff fate and long-term prospects for a franchise and fan base hungry for success. This season represents opponents over. This season represents an opportunity, to finally realize the potential that has been building over the past few years. The stakes are high. The journey promises to be an exciting as it is demanding, whether the Browns emerge as contenders or fall short of expectations. 2024 will undoubtedly be a defining chapter in the team's history. And I'm going to give you the Week 1 lineup of games right now before I get to a bit of news regard. Okay. Thursday Night Football. The Baltimore Ravens travel to KC to face the defending Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs. We have a game on Friday to kick off Week 1. The Green Bay Packers travel to Philadelphia to face the Philadelphia Eagles. And Sunday, we got a whole bunch of action. Pittsburgh Steelers are in Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Arizona's Cardinals are in Buffalo to take on the Bills. The Tennessee Titans are in Soldier Field in Chicago to take on the Bears. The New England Patriots are in Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. The Houston Texans are in Indianapolis to take on the Colts. The Jacksonville Jaguars are in Miami to take on the Dolphins. The Carolina Panthers are in New Orleans to take on the Saints. The Minnesota Vikings are in East Rutherford, New Jersey to take on the New York Giants. The Raiders are in Los Angeles and Inglewood, California to take on the Chargers. The Denver Broncos are in Seattle to take on the Seahawks. And I mentioned all the early games, just the late games, the afternoon ones. And Dallas takes on the Cleveland Browns. The Washington Commanders are at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay to take on Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. Sunday Night Football. The Los Angeles Rams are in Ford Field in Detroit to take on the Lions. And Monday Night Football Week 1. To wrap it up, the New York Jets are in San Francisco to take on the 49ers. So that's a preview of the games for Week 1, and I'm giving you a Browns season preview. Right now, you may have heard Jim Donovan, the voice of the Cleveland Browns, is stepping away from the Browns radio network to continue his focus on his battle with cancer. He had fought cancer for years, and he had fought it last year and beat it, but now it has come back. Donovan was was first diagnosed with chronic uh, uh, lymphocyte, uh, 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 lymphocytic leukemia in 2000, which began a decade-long battle with disease. With uh, he underwent a bone marrow transplant in the summer of 2011 and has been monitoring since. Uh, Donovan has announced. Donovan announced in May 23rd that he had a release of a relapse of the leukemia and would undergo a more aggressive treatment. Then in September, during the 2023 season opener against the Bengals, Donovan announced he would be taking a medical leave of absence from the Browns radio network as he continued his treatment of leukemia. He returned to the radio booth in November for Week 11 of the season In February 2024, Donovan celebrated the end of a radiation treatment. Donovan announced his retirement from WKYC on May 30th. His final broadcast was on June 10th. He was at WKYC Channel 3 and was sports director there for nearly 40 years. He worked his final broadcast as a sports anchor on June 10th. Donovan first joined Channel 3 News in 1985 as a weekend sports anchor. Donovan uh, was first named as the radio voice of the Browns in 1999 and completed his 25th season as the play-by-play voice for the Browns last season. We have been so honored to have Jim Donovan as the voice of the Browns since we became a part of the organization in 2012 and quickly understood why our fans have absolutely uh, loved him for the last 25 years, managing and principal owners, partners and owners. Dee and Jimmy Haslam said he's Cleveland and represents all that is good about Cleveland. Jim poured everything into his craft, whether you heard him on TV or radio, or have been lucky enough to engage him in person. He lights up every room and every conversation with a tr- with uh, uh, infectious energy. His professionalism and limitless care for those around him and makes all of us better. Words could never fully express our gratitude and and did not and admiration for Jim. How he has navigated his first fight with cancer, uh, and his love for the city, and most importantly, his love and dedication to his family. I know we speak for all Browns fans in saying that he is in our prayers. We are all here to support him in every way possible, and Jim Donovan will forever be a Cleveland Brown. Now, Jim Donovan shared a letter with the fans, and I'm going to share that letter with you right now. I'm going to share it with you, what he wrote. Hello, Browns fans everywhere. Well, the regular season is finally here. Can you imagine the atmosphere inside Brown Stadium when the Cowboys and Browns kick it off? It will be electric. It will be epic. Unfortunately, I will not be calling the game. On the Browns radio network. I have called my last Browns game, and that's why I am writing to you. As many of you know, I have been dealing with cancer for many years. I have gone through every treatment imaginable, but my cancer is a defiant opponent and has returned, and very aggressively. This will require me to devote everything I have in me to continue the fight, and my family and I are committed to doing that. I have called Browns games for 25 years. Not a day has gone by when I haven't paused and been so proud to be the voice of the Browns. Uh, Cheryl, Megan, and I thank you for all the love and support and prayers during my rough patches. It's like having a huge family around us, and that's what makes the Cleveland Brown uh, so special. You do. Now let's go get those Cowboys and make this 2024-25 season a great one. I'll be watching and listening. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. It has been an honor. Jim Donovan. Jim, on behalf of myself and all the Browns fans everywhere, and my mom and my family, my sister, my brother-in-law, my niece and nephew, my friends, everybody at Channel 3, and all over the greater Cleveland area, we are thinking of you. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, and we're rooting for you, Jimmy. You're the best in the business. There'll never be another voice of the Browns like you. Once again, we're rooting for you, Jimmy. And so you we know you're gonna fight this. So here's to you, Jim, for 25 years as the voice of the Cleveland Browns. Well, that is just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 Browns NFL season preview. I'll be back Thursday with the Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football pregame show before the Baltimore Ravens and Kansas City Chiefs kick off, and then the postgame show after the Baltimore Ravens and Kansas City Chiefs game has concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.